3. We are on air, everybody. We are on air. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. So let me refresh the screen so I can see the chat room real quick. So how's everybody doing? I got a treat for y'all today. A treat for y'all, man. For real, man. This is actually the first time I ever interviewed a proud boy. A proud boy. Y'all see right here, first time. And wow, this is gonna be lit, man, because he got something to tell y'all. He got some real stuff. He got some real news, not fake news. This is not CNN. This is behind the scene. This is everyday people. Everyday people. So I got a guest on here. It's a one-on-one interview with Hussein Hill. Hussein Hill. How you doing, my brother? Before he speak, subscribe to a channel. The link is in the description box. But after the video, there'll be more links on there. So stay tuned, y'all. So how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Yes. I don't know where to start with you, man. You're a proud boy, and you live in Raleigh, North Carolina. You're from New York, and how long have you been? Are you conservative, independent? Where are you? What do you stand?
Okay. So I guess I'll start with politically speaking. If you were to ask me, like in a formal sense, cultural libertarian, socially conservative. But I call myself an American nationalist, which pretty much I just believe that America and Western nationalists. I believe America and the West has superior culture. It's the best, you know what I mean, period. But not on a genealogical, racial standpoint. Just like the fact that our culture is best, culturally speaking. We have the best culture in the world. So that's pretty much how I describe myself politically. Some have called me a libertarian, but I'm not. I don't believe in some of the libertarian parties' economic bullshit. I think it's a little bit too. I think it's a little bit too crazy for me.
Yeah. So, but you have conservative. You have a lot of conservative values, right? Conservative values.
Yes.
See, people don't know when you say conservative values. You know what? They don't know in our movement. We have gays in our movement.
Yeah.
We have agnostic people in our movement. We have atheists. We have Muslims in our movement, but it's still the conservative values.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's the thing. That's how you talk. That's what you call seeing people point. You can disagree with a person, but you can see their point. And so I see your point on the conservative values. So let's go.
Exactly. And to address for all your viewers, to address kind of like launch up what you just said. I am gay. I'm an ex-Muslim, and my spirituality is it's a little complex. I'm a spiritual pagan. Call that. I view God. I view God in a polytheistic manifestation, but I believe that culturally, Christianity is the best prescription, best way to live, like in terms of existential, like living out your life. So, spiritual pagan, cultural Christian. That's pretty much me. I'm a proud boy, as you mentioned earlier. I'm also a member of another group that you may have heard of, the American Guard. I'm a part of that group as well.
Yeah.
Yep, I know you know who they are. Yep, I'm part of that group. Great group. Very, very similar to the Proud Boys, but a lot more political. I'm an active member of my local Republican Party, and I'm a political contractor. I do various political contract work for conservatives and Republicans in the area, and that's pretty much what I do. And I run the online media outlet called Narrative Assassin. That's the name of the brand, but you can check it out on Hussein Hill YouTube. But I have other platforms that I'm on, and that's me. That's pretty much me.
That's you. And so you do a lot of traveling out there. You do a lot of traveling. You be at a lot of rallies. You be out in the footwork.
Yeah. I used to be, but I went to more. There was like this past weekend I helped from my house. I helped coordinate some security at a smaller rally. I haven't been going out to as many rallies as I'd like to because I've been doing a lot of local work.
Right.
Yes. I am looking going forward to be at a lot more rallies. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to affect the national stage, but concentrate mainly on my state. And I think because a lot of people, and this is nonpartisan specifically, in my opinion, there's a lot of people who talk about politics, but they don't concentrate on the states they live in. And I think that's what matters is you got to take care of your home before you go outside your home. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your house first. And there's a lot of people who talk about, we got to get out there and fight the Reds and yada yada. Like, what are you doing in your local? Are you involved with your local congressman? Are you involved with the Senate? Are you involved with city council? Like, what are you doing? Like, start local, and then while you're doing local, simultaneously expand out into the national stage.
Thank you.
That's why I try. Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. It's like, get your house in order. Get your own house in order. It's like you got churches out there. You got pastors out there. You got to be a pastor in your own home first before you can be a pastor out there.
Yep.
You got to be an activist where you at before you activate on the streets. You have to be.
Exactly. So I couldn't agree more with that. I wish. Yeah, exactly. I think that there's a lot of people. I think we talked a little bit about this before we went live, but there's a lot of people who are more concerned about becoming the next YouTube star. You know what I'm saying? They're more concerned about becoming the next celebrity than actually doing anything that's going to affect some change in this country. Because at the end of the day, YouTube is temporary. It is. YouTube is temporary. The subscribes and all that shit, it's temporary. But the trajectory of our nation is not. It can't be temporary. So, put your money where your mouth is, so to speak. That's my philosophy on it.
Yes, these are, according to YouTube, I'm gonna say this: the viral don't belong to us.
Nope.
It don't belong to. They're shadow banning every single one of us to a point that we get two views on a video that we make. So for real, all that little 1,000 views of video, that stuff is dead. That stuff gonna be dead.
Yeah.
I think I'm playing. Don't get discouraged if you got 3 people watching. At least you got 3 people watching.
You'll watch it. Exactly. No, exactly. And if what's driving you is how many people are watching your videos, if what's driving you is how many people are subscribing to your channel, then I think you need to find a different drive.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to reevaluate your values because I mean, before our generation, the people that made the most change in this country, they were out on sidewalks. People they weren't on. They were out on sidewalks screaming. Cops were coming at them. No one cared. People hated them. I mean, they weren't making money off of it and getting famous. They were out there in the fray, saying what they believed in, and they died for this stuff. I mean, they died for these movements and these ideas. So, I think people should kind of take that mentality into the new era, so to speak, instead of trying to become the next celebrity. Yeah.
The next celebrity, it's not even about that, y'all. Like, come on, y'all. Like when I interview people, literally, I don't go like, oh, who got the most numbers, who got the most subscribers. I see a person that do 3 videos and, oh, I like your voice. You want to come on my channel?
Yeah.
For real, you want me on the channel? I said, no, come on, let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk because we all have a voice. Because I need you, and we need each other. We have to get out of our pride. I said, I need you. We need each other. Let's get out our ego and know we need each other. We need each other's encouragement. We need that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. I mean, for me personally, it's like I actually get deterred from a lot of the, like, if I see for example, we'll go in like the Ben Shapiro's, Daily Wire, that kind of blaze. I watch like Steven Crowder because Steven Crowder is the only one on that level, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but in my opinion, he's the only one in that kind of mainstream, because he's basically mainstream, conservative kind of, new mainstream, if you want to call it that,
right?
Conservative fold that's actually still honest. Like, I don't see, like, he doesn't shit all over the Proud Boys. He doesn't shit all over Stefan Molyneux, for example. He doesn't take his time. He doesn't like take his platform and just like denigrate his competition. So I'll follow him, but like the rest of them, like I don't care about the larger you are. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're gonna go meet so and so. It's like, my friends are my friends in real life. Like you know what I'm saying? Like some of the most prosperous work for me was working. So I did some work during the midterms in North Carolina, and I'm still doing some work now currently, a contract job. And some of the most prosperous work for me is like engaging with young Republicans and young conservatives, and like seeing them like become like excited because of what they're doing, and trying to basically motivate them and try to sculpt them into not just good politicians or political workers, but just good, decent Americans, and seeing like me helping out the next generation of conservatives. Like that to me is way more fulfilling than, oh, you're gonna go speak on this at this event. It's like, okay, cool. I'll do it, but like, I mean, like, So I don't know. I just think people like there's nothing wrong trying to get your name out there. I am a capitalist. Obviously, I live in America. Nothing wrong trying to make a living for yourself, get your name out there. But I think that there should be a balance of trying to make a name for yourself, trying to make some money for yourself, but also do not get derailed from what exactly you started doing this for.
Yeah. So. And myself, I had to take a step back on things. And I remember when I first started off, I was actually a loose cannon more than I am now. And I had to take a step back, like, you know what? It's not about followers. Let me stop getting discouraged if people shadow ban you. Because I get the same look. If we end this video right now, and I had a one like earlier, we had a one-on-one talk right before that.
Yeah.
That's the same vibe right here as it is doing live. And we have to not get caught up in that, that media hype thing.
Yeah.
And that's real. Believe it or not. And if they shut us down on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, whatever, guess what? We still have a voice somewhere.
Yep, absolutely.
You're talking to a person on that corner.
Exactly. Now, I've been the day I started my channel, because my first channel was it was called Victim of Multiculturalism and Neo-Marxism comes out and speaks up, something like that. It's my very first video on YouTube. And when I first did my very first video, I was demonetized instantly, and I knew I was going to be done. Like I never once thought for a second that I was going to be demonetized, because I didn't want to be monetized. I don't care. I know that I have been aware of the mainstream and underground leftist versus nationalist and or libertarian economy for years. So this is nothing new to me. It's just exploded on the main stage. But I've dealt with manifestation this my entire life. Most of my life. And so engaging in discourse for me was just like, yeah, this is going to happen. Okay. And then on Facebook, I've been shadow banned. I've been kicked off. Like it's going to happen. Anything that matters and that threatens the status quo will be attacked vehemently. And I think people need to realize that and not let them and not in some kind of I'm not saying this in a naive way, yeah, man, just keep going and everything's going to be great. It's going to be terrible.
It is. It's going to be terrible.
It's going to be terrible. There's going to be suffering. There's going to be there's going to be darkness. It's going to be bad. There might be violence coming your way. This is going to happen to you. But guess what? Violence and darkness and suffering befell our ancestors, and look where we are now. I mean, if it wasn't for their sacrifice, we wouldn't be here. Yes. So I attempt every day, and it's hard, man, because I have my days. I attempt to remember the spirit of my ancestors. That the ancestors that forged this country, that forged the world that we live in now, the sacrifices that they gave us, and I remember that spirit is in us, and we have to hold on to it, even when you are at a point where you just want to say, fuck it, I'm done, lights off. You know what I'm saying? And I've been to that point. I've seen the darkness. But you got to keep going.
I'm actually done with Facebook. I'm actually trying to get banned from Facebook for life. I'm tired, so I'll be on YouTube all the time. I've actually been trying to get banned from Facebook. They won't do it. Now they won't do it. They shut me down. I had a Facebook page with tons of followers. They took it away because I called Zuckerberg out. And now I got a new Facebook page. They won't shut me down. I don't hardly be on the Facebook, so I'm tired of I'm tired of fuckery. I'm tired of it.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm tired of fuckery because YouTube play games too, just like
of course
Facebook does. I got 3 strikes on my channel before. 3 strikes for hate speech. I appealed it. They gave it back to me. Yeah. But it's gonna be a matter of time when they shut me down too. There's gonna be a matter of time when they shut us all down.
Of course. And so it's funny too, because I see a lot of people. I'll wait for this. So I see a lot of people that are rightfully so. They're feeling the internet calls it black pill, right? Black pill, which is just it's just the new way of saying you're nihilistic and you're depressed. And I've been depressed. And I have no problem saying this because it's on my channel. I survivor of attempted suicide. I tried to kill myself a while back. And it was linked to the terms of me coming out for being gay, because I wasn't a fan of homosexuality. I was never raised to like homosexuality, and I am primarily have a socially conservative demeanor. And when I realized that was the case for my mode of being, it wasn't okay, and I didn't deal with it very well. But a lot of people around me helped me get through that. So there's a lot of people who are in that place of like darkness and like it's over, and it's like, no, it's not over, man. It's just another. This is what people do. This is what human beings do. We are faced with possible death or death, violence, revolution, war, whatever. This is human beings. So it's like you have two options. There are two options. You either die or you don't die, and that's how I look at it. That's the only options you have. You either admit defeat and you die, and there's different ways to die. There's suicide. There's letting your enemy beat you. There's becoming a part of the system. Yada yada yada. Or you say, regardless of what happens to me, I'm not going to die, and I'm not going to let other people in my life that I care about be crushed by this bullshit. And it's much easier said than done. I understand that, but it's like, my philosophy is like, what is the alternative? The alternative is just we're dead. Like, I'm not gonna die. You know, I mean, I've by the grace of the higher powers that be in the universe, I have survived a lot of bullshit. I should not be here talking to you right now, based on a lot of things that happened in my life, but I'm here. So it's like, let's do this.
You're here. You're here for a purpose. Everybody here for a purpose, and so follow your purpose, man. Know your destiny. Know your destiny.
Yeah. Exactly.
Know what you are called to do. Know this. Know who you are, because you are somebody. Everybody. I don't give a damn who you are. Everybody is somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's a problem. You got people. I ain't gonna say someone on the left, but you got people out there, rhinos too. They don't want you to be somebody. They want you to be a nobody. They want you to be a nobody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and here's the thing too. I mean, and this is where I see the current. I'm gonna try to simplify as much as possible. This is how I see the current American zeitgeist, if you will. You have the establishment right and the establishment left, and they're terrible. They're both equally terrible. They know they're terrible. They don't care. They belong to a hierarchy. People, you know, and it's because when you see these two branches of government, these two branches of our society, the first thing for you to do is like, oh, they're in bed with some subhuman, like, international. It's like, no, people are shitty. Like, that's the reason why. The reason why the Democrats and the establishment Democrats and Republicans are corrupt is because people are corrupt, and these people are embedded themselves in hierarchies as human beings do. Human beings, all of us, from the motherfucker in the corner to the dude on Wall Street, we're all in hierarchies. Yes. And when you threaten a man's hierarchy, that man's going to kill you. So that's what's happening. So these two groups establish themselves in the hierarchical structure. They don't want to leave that. It's their job. And then on the bottom spectrum, on the bottom rank of that, you have this swell of, what do you call it? I call the new right. People like you, people like me, the rally culture, the new right. Yeah, this new right movement. It's new. It's a new evolution of something that's been around for decades.
Yes.
It's new. And then you have other groups like, they call themselves the alt-right. I just call them the neo-hipster, neo-Nazis of 2019, because that's what they are. You have those individuals that exist, and those individuals, they exist kind of they kind of exist parallel to the new right. They don't like the new right because the new right also threatens their narrative, which is, you know, ethnocentricity, blah 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 blah, ethno-nationalism. You know, then you have the leftist Marxists, which is kind of an extension of the alt-right and the establishment left, but they've also been around for years. You know, their philosophy is just same thing: divide and conquer, balkanize the United States. And then you have the regular American people, and the regular American people are politically amorphous and politically complicated. And what's funny is that the regular American person probably fits the most. They probably fit the most into the new right. And I think the reason why people hate people on the new right, in this kind of Proud Boys, American Guard, I'll even throw Milo in there, Gavin McInnes, Joey Biggs, all of it, is because we are a distillation of a militarized version of the average American experience. The average American experience is very messy and multi-layered. It's not just Republican, Democrat, right wing, left wing. You know, it's a very nuanced, complex milieu, and people hate that. They hate that because people want to be, you're either alt-right or you're Antifa or you're Democrat or you're Republican. Yeah. You know, they want these boxes because it's easy, because human beings, and I understand it because I understand Antifa. I understand the alt-right. I understand where they're coming from. which is why I hate them because I understand what they're doing. I understand what they're doing. You know,
yeah.
You know, it's like for Antifa. I can explain both those perspectives right now. Antifa, hierarchies are inevitably tyrannical and they dispossess people. Yes. Crony capitalism and corporatism is evil. Absolutely. Interventionism to foreign shores displaces people in other countries and affects the American people negatively. Absolutely. I agree with all those points. That's great. But their solution is socialism and Marxism. Let's take the alt-right, for example. The alt-right, modern neo-Western culture is adversarial towards white people. Yeah. Eurocentric culture is now being considered a sin, and you see it in Europe, with the politicians who are allowing mass immigration from foreign countries. The ideology that being pro-Europe is evil. I mean, you look back in the culture of the Black Rights Movement, you can see a lot of anti-white. I mean, I was raised by Black nationalist Muslims, so I understand this. They believe that the white man is an intrinsically evil creature and should be wiped off the face of the earth.
Blue-eyed devils.
Yeah, exactly. So in the face of that, the alt-right and the neo-Nazi white power movement, they're saying, well, if everyone else can have identity politics and we deserve identity politics, we shouldn't be wiped off the face of the map. And it's like, I agree that white people should not be genocided. I agree with that presupposition. I agree with that 100%. I totally agree with that. But the answer isn't to balkanize the United States. That's ridiculous. So it's just like, I understand both of your arguments. You just have shitty solutions. Your solutions are fucking inferior. Like,
I think identity politics been going on since day one. Remember that one tower that crumbled, up in the Bible, and people got too much identity politics, and guess what? They switched off to different languages. These people got too triggered, and different language. Go your own tribe. All right, you want your identity? You can have your identity over there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny because
click.
It's funny you mentioned the Babel tower, which is like the Tower of Babel. Honestly, is where America can. The Tower of Babel is basically America if America is not careful. Because it really is. Because the thing about America, which is it took me a long time. Like, I want to, at some point in my life, I want to write a book about why America is the best creation of the human species, and I want to go back to ancient civilizations, Egypt, ancient civilizations in Europe. I want to use all the research, all the sources I can to prove this point. But what America discovered was, through realizing our imperfections as a species, we can create the perfect civilization. And that's what America is. It's acknowledging the fact that government is tyrannical, so we should limit the government. And the second part, I'm not gonna be a boomer about this. I'm gonna be very succinct. I say this through trial and error, because let's not lie and pretend that America from the start was meant to be this multiracial.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Let's not lie about that. But through trial, exactly. Through trial and error. And I think that a lot of the reason why I went this direction was because of the Christian presuppositions of the founding fathers. But through trial and error, America also realized that you can develop a superior and succinct and solidative culture amongst people of different racial backgrounds. So we did things that were never supposed to be done. They've never been done before in other cultures, in other nations. There's never been a multifaceted, diverse culture such as America that also understands that oligarchical and tyrannical governments are inherently malevolent and try to maintain that. And that's the thing about America, that it's like the founders were basically realizing that the only way to create a perfect nation, so to speak, is to acknowledge the imperfection of an imperfect species, thusly creating a nation that's not a utopia, but a continuous maintaining experiment. And that's what America's supposed to be. But now in 2019, everybody wants the utopia. Everybody wants the utopia, and that's I think that's the biggest problem is that we all want the utopia, and it's never gonna fucking happen. It's never gonna fucking happen. So,
wow, this is real, y'all. Like, man, dude, it's so much stuff that we saying right now, right? That you saying, and that's why they want to shadow ban this right now. Believe it or not, I'm watching what YouTube doing right now. But it's okay though, YouTube. It's okay. We still love you, YouTube.
Yeah.
But you're a Proud Boy member. You know what? I'm proud of the Proud Boys. Proud Boy. Look. even though I'm not a Proud Boy, I feel like I'm a Proud Boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, the Proud Boys, the Proud Boys, man, like the Proud Boys, we it's funny too. I just did if you go on my Facebook page, which there'll be a link in the description for Narrative Assassin Facebook page, but I just did a podcast about what the Proud Boys are, and I'm doing a talk in August in Cary, North Carolina about the Proud Boys being hosted by the Republican Liberty Caucus of North Carolina. And it's just the Proud Boys it's really hilarious, but it's interesting, hilarious, and tragic about the controversy of the Proud Boys, because it's hilarious because at the end of the day, it's like if you've ever met the Proud Boys, you realize there's just a bunch of guys who drink beer, a bunch of guys who drink beers like America, and they will hit you in the fucking face if you hit them.
Thank you. That's me. I feel like I'm now.
Yeah, it's just normal ass people. It's people like, I like America. I'm not ashamed of being American. I'm not ashamed of being a man. And you put your fucking hands on me, I'll knock you out. Which is normal parlance for every American citizen out there. So that's the funny part about it. The sad part is that the reason why the Proud Boys are hated so much is because, once again, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier, where it's just like, no one's ever seen a group of individuals, and this is the same phenomenon with the American Guard, which I'm a part of that as well. No one's ever seen a pro-American nationalist organization, not like a Tea Party, because the Tea Party was, the Tea Party was the beginning, but the Tea Party was still very much, there was still an establishment underpinning. Yeah, exactly. But the Proud Boys and the American Guard, these are like, we're American nationalists. We're American, we're Western chauvinists. Like, we believe our culture is superior. But we're not, we're multiracial. We have gays in our ranks. And we actually aren't Nazis, and quite frankly are sick and tired of the Nazi narrative. Like, they've never seen that before. So
the Proud Boys are my niggas. I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So everyone and their mother is trying to fuck with the Proud Boys, and it's tragic on a like anthropological standpoint, but it's hilarious on a personal standpoint. Just like y'all are just being ridiculous. Like, y'all are just being super fucking ridiculous. Like, it's not like, because I've gone out with, like, me and some Proud Boys have just gone out to, like, places in, like, where I'm from, like North Carolina, just with our shit on. The average person doesn't give a fuck. They don't care. The average person doesn't care. The average person's like, what's the Proud Boy? We tell them, like, oh, it's kind of cool, man, whatever. But because of, the mainstream media, because of Antifa, and because of specifically in places like New York and the West Coast, Boston, where these places are, like, inundated with leftist activism, they force the public to hate the Proud Boys, even though the public probably has met 5 or 6 of them at one time and been like, these guys are just regular dudes. Like, I don't see the problem. But, clown world, man. We're in fucking clown world, so.
For real, y'all. Raw on cut, y'all.
Fucking clown world. Hong Kong, bro. But
I told you can have a dance on here. This is Raw and Uncut. This is a Raw and Uncut platform. I don't give a damn what you say.
Yeah. So I was actually kind of wondering if you wanted to discuss the reparations conversation that seems to be happening now.
Let's talk about
it. What are your thoughts on the reparations?
I want that money. I want my cut. I want my cut on reparations. I mean, the more I think about it, you know what? I know a lot of conservatives are gonna get pissed about me when I just say this, but I don't give a damn. People unsubscribe to me every day, but the Indians get it. Why can't we get it? I'm just saying, it's quality. If the Indians can't get it, I see Indians flashing their check. I got $2,000 check. I said, oh wow, because there's certain part of Indian, but look, guess what? We more part of black than a part of Indian, and we don't get a check. No, I want a check. This should be. I'm not pushing for reparation, but I'm okay with reparations.
I will only co-sign reparations as the only time I will co-sign reparations is if every single Democrat politician and every single leftist activist who's saying it pays it. No one else has to except for them. It's like, if you really want reparations, then you have to pay it. It's your project, so you fucking pay it. Like, and if you want to do that, that's fine. I'll take your money. if you're that sad about it.
I have no problem with reparation. I have no problem with that. I can use the money. Next, I can use the money, y'all. So that's my thing, and I know I will trigger some conservative what I just said, but I don't care. I really don't care. This is why my channel called Thick Skin Only. So
exactly.
whatever.
I mean, obviously for me, like all jokes, I obviously don't want reparations, and it's not because the money thing is one thing. It's just I'm sick and tired. Because once again, something I've built my entire life. I am sick and tired of the white leftists. Let's get our words straight.
Come on.
Yeah, white leftists fucking this white leftist coddling of black people. I'm sick of it. I'm so
Thank you.
I'm so fucking sick of it.
I was talking to some white liberals. You guys do deserve reparation. I ain't for reparation. I said, shut up with that liberal white guilt stuff.
I'm sick of it.
You might even give that liberal white guilt. I'm tired of the liberal white guilt.
Yeah, I'm sick of it. It's not only is it like annoying on a face value.
Yeah,
it's pathetic. It's pathetic. There's no virtue in doing that. I don't respect you for doing that. And then what's even worse is seeing black Americans. I know you've seen them who buy into that shit. Like they buy into it. Like they're like, yeah, that's what's up. Like that's like it's like really. So you're okay with being these leftists token niggers. Is basically what you're saying. That's what you're saying. That's what you are. That's what you are. Exactly. These token niggers. That's what it is. It's like so. Massa says pay reparations, and Massa says hate me. Massa says hate white people. Massa says you need reparations. Yeah. Massa says I'm gonna take care of you with our government, quote unquote. We're gonna take care of you with our programs, quote unquote. And that's justice. It's like what the fuck, man. Like it's just there's so many different layers of why I hate that shit. There's so many fucking layers of why I hate that shit, but it's just ugh.
Oh, there go Likewise. I got the other guy. He had to argue. He on the chat. What's up, Likewise? Good to see you on here. My arguing guy right here. You be giving me a headache on live feeds, man. Much love, brother. But yeah, it's that liberal white guilt be killing me. Liberal white guilt. It's like, shut up. Why do the white liberals come with a fake smile? Like, hi. Oh my God! Like, for real, you guys deserve it. Like, shut up. You in college, you in college. You don't know about the streets. Stop it with that white guilt stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to look at these comments because just trying to see what people are saying. But
hey, watch Likewise. Likewise, like the
I'm seeing that now. Yeah, I'm seeing that now.
Like the hey, hold on the house.
It's called Guilt or Truth. Yeah. It's just. I mean, well, to Likewise and to any other white leftist who feels that that's the truth. If you think that your race is intrinsically malevolent, then you should probably kill yourself. I mean, that would be the most logical. That would be the logical chronological progression of that. If you think that everything that you do is, but I don't think you believe that. I don't think you believe that for a second.
Right.
I'm actually because on an existential standpoint, I don't think you believe that whatsoever.
Yeah. I don't think he believes half of the stuff he's saying anyway. But
no, he does. He does that.
With you. Likewise, you ain't taking the spotlight in the chat room. You always do that. You distract me.
Well, now he jumped to Jews or something. He moved the goalpost to Jews or something. But which I'm assuming he's talking about European Jews, Ashkenazi Jews, which you can debate on a genealogical level whether or not they're quote unquote white or not. So that's a misnomer as well. But no, like it's just white guilt, like the whole saying that's a retarded comment. Like white guilt. Is it guilt or is it truth? It's like, well, if you feel that way, if you think that your race is intrinsically malevolent, then why do you live? Why do you continue to breathe? Just kill yourself. If you are evil, like for example, the way I look at it is if something is intrinsically evil, I would like it to end. I want it to stop. Like I want to crush it. So you believe that white people are intrinsically evil? You're a white person. If you're a white person, I'm pretty sure. Is he a white person? I want to make sure I'm correct. Is this individual a white person?
No, he's a black dude. He's a black dude.
Oh, he's a black dude. Okay, that's my bad.
I say calls him a globalist. He says he's a globalist.
That's my bad. Okay, that's my bad.
He's the globalist. He says he's a globalist.
That's my bad. And I will correct myself on the record for that.
He's a globalist. He's a globalist. He said he's a globalist.
Okay. So we'll move that. We'll move that back. We can move that to the other side as well. So he's saying from a black perspective, he's saying that white people are intrinsically malevolent.
Yeah.
Well, so, oh my God, how does he explain the black on black African slave trade that occurred?
How you explain that? Likewise, look at it. I'm doing a one-on-one interview. You always you always in the chat room distracting people.
how does one explain the disproportionate crime and predominantly black neighborhoods, black on black crime?
Yeah. Explain it likewise, the globalists.
If white people are intrinsically evil, if they should feel guilty about being white.
The liberal white guilt. I'm so sick of liberal white guilt.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
It's so sickening. And you got these dumbed down black people, the dumbed down black motherfuckers always pandering, always being, oh, give me my free stuff. Give me. Yeah. Why do black people, I'm going to say this because I call niggas out. Why do black people always want the handouts? Why are they always waiting for a check? Why? Because that's what Massa taught them. Yeah. Massa taught them to wait for that check and to depend on that check.
Yep.
I'm interviewing you.
That's fine. That's fine. No, like exactly. I mean, like I think it's just because it's easy. I think it's easy. It's much easier to look at your skin color and your sexuality and et cetera, and point that to be the reason why you are not successful. And I think too, like when you say that shit, right? Like, because I know the first thing what leftists will say is, "Oh, Hussein, like, are you not taking consideration like the like the rich?" I'm like, no, like, obviously there is corruption. I am not a wealthy person. I'm not. Before I got involved in politics, or rather, when I first started getting actively involved in politics, I was working at the gas station. But like, what is it? Like a year or 2 years later, I'm now a political contractor for my for like local political individuals. Like I did that, like so it's like I understand, and still, even with that said, I still live in a relatively low income area. Like I don't live in the hills. Like it is what it is. Like like it's I look back at like my grandmother, may she rest in peace, and like my grandparents, they grew up during Jim Crow. And my grandparents, Durham, North Carolina, they used to own like about, I don't know, I can't remember this time. I want to say at least 6 or 7 convenience stores called the Hill Convenience Store. There's only one left because the leftist white politicians brought in themselves and they brought in Mexicans and they ran them. Basically, they pushed the blacks into the ghettos and out of the cities.
Right.
But my grandparents died owning land, and they started with living in a very shitty house, drinking water from a well, and eating beans for dinner. That's what they started, and they died. My grandmother died owning her own land.
And they survived, didn't they? They survived.
Exactly.
They lived. Exactly. They taught morals, values.
Yeah, exactly.
So, next.
Exactly. And you know what I'm saying? Like my grandfather, he served. Because even during that time, like this is the worst part about it is, like I spoke to my grandma. I was very much blessed to know my grandmother before she passed, and like even though she of course she had her views about white people, of course, black women from the South, all that shit, of course. But when she spoke about her country in America, it was her country. Like she didn't say like I hate America. She's like, America's my country. I'm an American. Like it was even understood by blacks under Jim Crow that they were American. It's because their philosophy was, if these white people are going to treat us this way, then our weapon is going to be, we're going to be the best fucking Americans that they've ever seen. We're going to be better Americans than them. That was their philosophy.
Yes,
that was their philosophy. It was competition. It was competition. And that kind of mentality brought us to where we are now, where a black Puerto Rican ex-Muslim gay pagan dude can be talking to a black guy, you know what I'm saying? Like another black person on YouTube.
Everybody, he's an ex-Muslim and he's gay. Are y'all triggered?
Yeah.
Like whatever, y'all, man. This is a new right party. This is a different conservative party. This is a different party we got right here. All that stuff is dead. All these identity politics, we try to get rid of that stuff, y'all. You dick.
Well, I mean, and I think that's the problem is that balkanization and division really is profitable. It's profitable. And that's why these motherfuckers don't want. That's why they don't want it to stop. That's why they don't want to stop. That's why the neocons, they still want to go across seas and they want to bomb whatever the hell they want to bomb, and they want to expand for no reason. Expand places. They want to nation build and expand in areas for no reason. That's why the Democrats are still doing what they do. That's why the various, like the black nationalists and the white nationalists and the LGBTQ Marxists and all these different groups, they're doing this because it is profitable to create the narrative because basically what they're hoping for is the balkanization of our nation and may the best tribe win. That's what they want. That's what they want. And I'm good with that. Like we mentioned this too before we started the stream, where some of the
come on,
the mentality of some of the Trump supporters and all that kind of stuff. And
come on, say it, thick skin only.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them, the MAGA. MAGA bots, exactly.
MAGA bots. I call them MAGA bots. Yes, Maurice Doak said it. MAGA bots.
Yeah, I actually did an episode of my channel addressing this too, which is the two people. There's the two types of Trump supporters, I call them, right? There's the diehard. You call them MAGA bots. You call them MAGA tards, whatever you want to call them. The diehard Trump. The diehard Trumpers, where everything Trump says is fucking, it is law. Trump is our god. He can never do anything wrong. He's impervious to criticism. He is just amazing. And then you have the
video one time. I called Trump a dumbass. I said it because it was something I didn't like. Oh, they got triggered. I said no. I support my person, but he was a dumbass for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If I see you on some bullshit in love, I'll say you on some dumbass shit, dude.
Well, it's true. I mean, and then
you better rebuke me too. Jesus had to rebuke Peter.
Yep. And then, like I said, the other type of Trump supporter is a former Trump supporter who basically used to be like the MAGA bots, so to speak. But these cats, their philosophy now is because he didn't do something I like at that time, fuck everything he's ever done. And so with both these groups, it's like, hey guys, two things need to be remembered. He's the president of the United States, which means he works for us. Of the United States, the government is supposed to be beholden to the people, not the other way around. There's a lot of people that are thinking that Trump is this like oligarchical fucking figure. It's like, no, we are supposed to be the nation of limited government. We're supposed to be the nation of we the fucking people. And so, it's another thing I see. That's another thing I see happening, where it's like, Trump, I love Trump. He's so fucking awesome. Or Trump's a shill. He's a cuck because he said this thing. It's like, how about this? How about Trump is a person? He's a fucking person.
Yes.
He's always going to be flawed like the rest of us. And if you have a problem with him, put him in check, but don't shit on every single achievement that he's gotten. The economy, lowest unemployment ever. You know what I'm saying? I can go. You know what I'm saying? Like pushing executive orders to reaffirm the validity of the Second Amendment. You know what I mean? Like, he got approved for some legislation that helped retention rates of possible migrants, an influx of migrants from Mexico. He did that. Like, he's doing things. He's slashing through regulation. Like, he's doing things on a daily basis that are positive. He's also going to do some dumb shit. Like,
yes. I heard that the Democrats are trying to sue people in Arizona for some from exposing illegal immigrants. They actually trying that. I'll talk about that later. But they actually trying to sue Jennifer and Lisa. Will just made a video about that earlier, and that disturbed me. And we got to stand up, y'all. Mm-hmm. They are trying to sue people for exposing illegal aliens.
Yep.
Illegal criminals, and they're coming to us. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, man. Like I said, it's we're living in some very exciting times, but some very chaotic times. A lot of chaos, man. There's a lot of fucking chaos, and I don't know. Like what I try to do with my work, and like I said, I exist on social media, and I exist in the actual local political real realm of my area, which I'm trying to do. I'm trying to push for a message. My message is basically this: America should inculcate within itself a sense of a base of traditionalism, because you need that. That's a structure. That's the base of the structure. And then cultural libertarianism, which is the idea that as long as what you are, basically this is the idea. There are norms and there are standards and there are traditions in this country that should be recognized and should be upheld. However, you are allowed to deviate slightly from those norms as long as your deviation is not a direct assault on the very parameters of those norms. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, homosexuality, right? And I use the word non-heterosexual. I don't like that word LGBTQ. I hate that fucking word. It's a Marxist word. It means nothing.
I'm offended that you're a gay man. That offends me. You're gay. I'm offended.
No, really, but like when it comes to gay marriage, because I've been watching this a lot during the Pride Month. And when it comes to the whole conversation, the gays and the straights and the Christians and blah blah blah. So non-heterosexuality on a statistical rather observable scientific level. I've looked at the research, a lot of it. It will always be. It has always been, always will be a biological minority of the species. That's number one. Number two, it is evolutionarily speaking, it is abnormal. It is abnormal, and it will never be normal. And to be abnormal does not mean you're malevolent. It just means that you are not of the norm. What is of the norm is heterosexual marriage, procreation. That is the norm. And so the problem that we're seeing happening with this issue, especially you see it happening with Pride Month, is that if you look at the history of the gay rights movement, the Christian right, traditional right, whatever you want to call that, has made concession, like legislatively, concession after concession after concession to non-heterosexuals. Non-heterosexuals have made no concessions to the right.
Yeah.
None. What have they given up? They've given up nothing. The right has given up marriage. The right has given up. They've even given up the idea of even. I mean, and whether I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but they've given up the idea that gays should even be allowed to, like be openly gay or whatever. They've given up all these different parameters because these parameters were set to maintain a traditional structure for our country. They've given it all up, and the gays, non-heterosexuals, what have you, they refuse to have any concessions. And so, like, one thing that I personally believe, and it took me a long time to struggle with this, is I believe in homosexual monogamy, but I do not believe that homosexual monogamy should be synonymous with marriage, because marriage is a religious institution between a man and a woman. And it's just once you try to like mix those words together, those when you denigrate the semantics, you denigrate the institution that it's the best institution, the most sophisticated institution to help promulgate our species. And once you like destroy that, you get drag kids. Because if marriage means nothing, if marriage means nothing at all, then if marriage and gender and sexual orientation mean nothing at all, that means that in that world, that means that a 9-year-old can dress up in drag and strip for men, because who cares? Because nothing means anything. You know? So, and I know it's a hard pill, and that's a hard pill to swallow for even gay Republicans, gay conservatives that I observed, because they're all about LGBTQ and gay marriage. It's like, how about we start having these discussions a little bit more seriously? Like, I'm not saying strip gays away of any legal rights. What I'm saying is the actual term marriage does not belong in a non-heterosexual union. It just doesn't, because religious institution between a male and a female human being, and words matter. And actually, when you destroy that definition, we can see a group that suffers a lot is Black Americans, because in this world, Black Americans have the worst rate of divorce, single motherhood, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In this world, 2019, where marriage means nothing, what is the incentive for a Black American to get married? If marriage is just whatever. If there's the effects of this is ripples throughout various manifestations and iterations of our society that we just pretend to not acknowledge. And this is, once again, this is something that you know what I'm saying? This is something I see on all sides of the political spectrum, not just the left or the Democrats. I see it in the Republican Party. I see it with some of the LGBTQ, gays for Trump types. I had discussions with some of these individuals, and I'm like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you're not being honest. You're not being honest. So.
Oh, look at that. I got a Rumble tonight. All right, AD. I'll do the Rumble tonight in about 10 o'clock tonight. All right. I'll do the 3-hour Rumble tonight. Okay. So it's on tonight. Okay. All right, AD. Come on in tonight.
Did I inspire this?
Yeah, they inspired us. They all like, oh, yeah. This dude's like, yeah. Now they want to come on there and spit tonight. All right. It's a Saturday Night Rumble tonight. All right. We get
All right, fair
different
enough.
opinions on that yell and scream at the mic.
Fair enough. What time we got? 8:56. Yeah, I'm gonna have to if we're gonna do this, I'm gonna have to re-up on some water. We'll do this.
Oh, you'll come back later on the show.
I mean, if it, yeah, I'm assuming it has something to do with what I've been saying. So if
Oh,
that's the case,
snap! Are you ready? No, they get intense at night. Seriously,
oh my god,
me yelling and screaming on the microphone at night. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine. That's fine.
We be going at it like, "Oh, you dumbass!" They call you dumbass and you idiot. They love name calling like, "Oh, shit."
Well, that's not like. Here's my thing. Like in that kind of situation, like I'm down for that. I've been called worse than that. My issue is just come with some facts. If you come with some facts, then we can actually have a conversation. You know, I'll stay in the conversation.
I see a chat. You never come with no facts. You always just like to yell. AD, you too. Both of y'all. Y'all like to talk over people. I love y'all. Let's do this tonight.
Okay. This will be interesting.
Steph. No, we got about 10 minutes now. So go ahead.
Right. Oh, but yeah, no, man. I mean, that's just yeah, exactly. That's pretty much where I stand on various issues and shit. And yeah, I don't know. Is there any specific issue that you think, or is there any specific issue you want my take on a specific issue or something? Anything that you have in mind?
I want your take on the. We talked about the 7-year-old drag queens, and it's. I'm just saying. What do you think about the schools? The public schools. Do you think the public schools got to go, or should our children be homeschooled? I mean, I just want your take on all those.
Fair enough. It's funny too. I actually had a conversation with a coworker / associate in GOP Republican associate. I've met homeschool kids, and sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not.
Okay. Okay.
It really. I mean, I've met some homeschool kids where it's like that kid's got better morals. They're more committed to their schooling and they're more committed to like going out in the world and making something out of themselves. But then you do get some homeschool kids that are just insane. You just get some homeschool kids that are just really just you need to experience real life. So I don't think that first of all, homeschool should always be an option for anyone. I think that public schools should be defunded. I do believe that. I think that we should shoot for private schools. I think the option should be private schooling. Yeah, I think private schools. Yeah, I think privatizing the education system is the way to go. I think the public educational system is a failure. It's become merely nothing but indoctrination of various identitarian, rehashed Marxist propaganda, as well as just the maintenance of the status quo. You know, keeping folks level that they're at and not really allowing them to have the tools to move up professionally. So I think that would be, but once again, and actually I'll even say this on that point, if I'm given some new data or a different take on it, I'm willing to critique my opinion on that, because I'll say that conversation is a very nuanced conversation, because we're so entrenched in the public education system right now that trying to deregulate that is going to be a nightmare as of right now. It's going to be intense. But I do think I think more focus should be given to people defending and promoting private schools. I think private schools should be I do believe that.
Right.
But
that's real, y'all. That's real. Like, man, it's such a good pleasure to have you on here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, man.
On my YouTube channel tonight, and I'm glad we were raw to undercut tonight. We're not all like censoring ourselves, and I appreciate you coming on here today. And if there's any channel, where do people follow you at? Besides, I put the link in the description box that they follow you on Facebook. But do you have your own website? Anything? Just spit it, brother.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no. So Hussein Hill YouTube channel. Then you go to Subscribestar, Narrative Assassin on Subscribestar. If you subscribe to that channel or that platform, what have you, it's $1.99 a month, only $1.99 a month, and you get exclusive material that'll only be seen on Subscribestar. I'm on Twitter, but I'm not very active because Twitter is fucking totalitarian as shit. And I'm on Facebook as Narrative Assassin.
Yeah, you be on Facebook. I see your live video on Facebook. You be on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I'm pushing towards a point where I can have an actual website, but that's down the road. I'm actually working on merch, and because I want the Narrative Assassin brand to be an entire media outlet, and doing things like eventually I want to do things like political, social shit, reviewing films, even like promoting artists and musicians that are not leftists. You know what I mean? Like the musicians that the left won't give time to. I want it to be a cultural outlet, media outlet for people who hate the current status quo. So that's pretty much what I'm trying to do. And it's taken a while, but I think it's going in a good direction. So yeah.
I appreciate you coming on here. I forgot who recommended you. Someone recommended you.
I think it's Isaac Smith. I think Isaac Smith.
Yeah, it was Isaac Smith.
Yeah, Isaac Smith. Yep, Isaac Smith.
Yeah, that's my dude. I said, Lucretia, yeah, Isaac did. Yep, he did
good
that.
Guy.
He actually gave me. I think he gave me your phone number. So he said something like, I don't know. I think he did.
Yeah, Isaac. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, Isaac. He recommended me. I'm recommending you. So I love. Actually, I have never had Isaac Smith as a guest on my YouTube channel. I got to reach out tomorrow.
He's a good guy. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's a good guy.
We kicked it, man. That dude, we kicked it in Georgia. We kicked it.
Yeah.
We kicked it for like 3 days and stuff, man. He's a cool dude. Him, Lucretia's house and Dave and all. Man, we all kicked it. Lucretia's down to earth.
Yeah. No, he's a good guy. He's got a good heart. Very dedicated too. Very dedicated guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Most of that Isaac Smith did, and and I appreciate that because you encouraged me today. You inspired me today, and we need to inspire each other.
Absolutely.
We need to be inspired by common sense.
Yep. In terms of your Rumble room, room thing going on, depending if nothing pops up between now and 10 o'clock. I'll jump in, but I may not jump in. We'll see. I'm on the fence.
Hey, that's one of the things that you can pop in for 5 or 10 minutes and pop.
Okay, cool.
It's like a call-in radio. That's an open mic. Everybody come in and just start rumbling. It get intense, bro. It get intense.
Gotcha. All right, now I'll monitor it. I'll see where it goes. If I feel inclined, and I'll go in there.
Sometimes I'll be like, oh, wow, they got to yell at each other. It gets intense.
Yeah, that's fine.
But you know what?
Free speech, man.
Free speech.
Exactly.
Hey, thank you for coming on, brother. I appreciate you. It's an honor to have you back. I would love to have you back on here to another one-on-one interview.
Well, yeah, that'd be awesome, man. And thank you so much for having me, man. It's been good. It's been real good.
Anytime, and just like, man, it's a breath of fresh air to see people that has woken up.
Mm-hmm.
That are thinking outside the box, and I really appreciate you, brother. Anything you want to say before I cut the stream off? And when I cut the stream off, stay on there.
That's fine. Yeah, no, I mean, not really. I mean, I just, like I said, I'll say this, and I think this, this goes out to your leftist / liberal watchers right now, conservative. Maintain principled reason. Like, try to, have your beliefs, but and be reasonable and rational, but realize at the end of the day we are all Americans, and realize that it's not a matter of the utter destruction of your perceivable enemies, but rather the salvation of your culture and our nation, because we're all going to play part in that. So rediscover nuance and don't become an ideologue or a demagogue. That's pretty much it.
All right. Amen. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure, man.
Thanks so much for
having me. Much love, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's in the description box.
Thank you.
Info screen, okay? Much love, y'all. Deuces!